the substance. What is your take on the progress so far of the electoral process?
Thank you, Daniel. Now, so far, the activities that we mapped out in the roadmap are moving on smoothly. As you know, we have concluded nominations of all levels, and the candidates for all the elective positions, right from president down to the councillor, are busy traversing the various parts of the country, their constituencies and so on, looking for votes, addressing the supporters, marketing their manifestos and the programs that they intend to do in the next 5 years. So that is moving on in spite of a few glitches here and there. The other area where we are prepared, we have concluded the printing of ballot papers outside Uganda. Now, next week we shall be inviting the media and other stakeholders to witness the arrival of ballot papers at Entebbe Airport from wherever we printed them. Now, the other issue, of course, is other logistical issues or matters that are connected to a successful conduct of an election, which we have also acquired. Now, what is trending currently is the launching of the publicity of the biometric voter verification system that is going to be used at every polling station to ensure that every voter, before he or she is given a ballot paper, is biometrically identified using this kit. And for that reason, we are deploying 2 kits per polling station, so that if one gets a problem and is not able to continue, then we can deploy the second one, which will be on standby. So you are either biometrically identified or you will not be given a ballot paper.
Thank you very much for that insight. Now, what has the media not published or broadcast about this exercise that you feel is missing?
Well, remember, Daniel, that the first time we carried out a public demonstration or test run was yesterday with the media. And unfortunately, I was not around. I had other engagements outside the Electoral Commission premises. I would have loved to be around, listen to the media, get their views, their comments, their reactions on how the exercise went. I've not had time even to read the print media today because I'm too busy. Right. But by and large, I heard from my people, and they told me that the exercise went on well. The various aspects of the functionalities of this kit were put to test, and I think it went well. Because it's a new concept, really. And as I said, the kit we used in 2016 is different from the one we are using now. This one has a feature of a camera. This one has the feature of a scanner to scan the ballot paper, okay, before it is given to a voter and before the ballot papers are counted. We have to scan these ballot papers in order to confirm and verify that whatever has gone into the ballot box was authentically issued to a genuine or authentic voter at table number 1.
So what has been your challenges so far?
Well, in terms of the test run, as I said,
the whole process.
Oh, the whole process.
Yes.
The challenge with the whole process is human beings. Those who don't want to abide by the law, those who want to follow the guidelines or follow the laws in place. And when you caution them, do things this way, they think you are trying to hinder them or obstruct them. And but those are just minor. Those are few people. They are, in the main, the whole process has not been derailed, or it has not been rendered ineffectual on account of how some people have chosen to conduct themselves. Otherwise, we want to thank the government of the Republic of Uganda. They have been able to raise the funds that we require for all these activities. We have not gotten any single donor funding for this election. All the money has come from the government of the Republic of Uganda.
Okay. Justice Simon BYABAKAMA, how do you trace the candidates? Because these people are in your hands.
Yeah.
How do you trace them, especially the presidential candidates? How do you trace them?
Well, first of all, we have what we call a harmonized campaign program. After nomination, the candidates were required, before getting on the campaign trail, to sit together with ourselves, and they agree on how they are going to conduct their respective campaigns without clashing or finding themselves in the same area or same location. So that is one way of keeping. I just get out the chart of the campaign programs, and I know candidate X is supposed to be in this area. If there are any amendments, a candidate is not supposed to change his campaign route or venue, or not venue, but his campaign area, without first notifying the Electoral Commission. So that is one way. Then secondly, they have agents. At the time of nomination, each candidate was required by law to appoint an official agent. So we have the contacts of their agents. I think they even have a forum for agents of presidential candidates, where at any short notice, we can call the agent and say, look, your candidate is doing this. And I think I've talked to some agents over the conduct of their candidates. And so we are in touch with our candidates. We can trace or track them wherever they are.
Thank you very much. The conversation continues. I am with the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, and that is Justice Simon BYABAKAMA. By and large, you've talked about how you trace them through, because you knew the campaign programs. So far, up to maybe let us look at today, which of the candidates have notified you of change of programs? And have you blamed any of those who did not consult you and they have changed any program?
No, by the way, on that one, I must admit they have generally been compliant, because almost every day I receive in my office a notification from either the Secretary General of a party or the agent that my candidate wishes to change or to alter the schedule of his campaign programs on the following manner. Those ones we get. And the important thing is not to say outrightly no, unless we realize that the proposed alteration in the campaign program of this candidate is likely to collide with another program or a program of another candidate. So I cannot tell you who and who, but they come almost every day. Even today, I think one of them sent a proposed amendment or change in his campaign schedule.
I bring this because your name has been cited a lot, especially on the social media and some other parts of the international
Fortunately, I don't read some of those things.
Yes, your name has been cited a lot.
Yes.
Because one of the presidential candidates, and that is the National Unity Platform candidate, he has on several occasions called out your name and said, Justice Simon BYABAKAMA, you know we are supposed to be in this area, and according to our campaign schedule, we are supposed to be here.
It's true.
But we have been blocked.
Yes.
We are not going to the place.
Yes.
So that's why I brought this from that
Let me
background.
say this very emphatically and without equivocation, that if a candidate indicated where he is going to be on a particular date and is heading to that area, to the designated venue, and he's doing so in line with the law without breaking any law, that candidate has a right to proceed to that area and that venue without any hindrance, without any obstruction. However, if the candidate chooses to act outside the law or contrary to the law and the guidelines issued by the Commission, and does the things that we are prohibited under the law or the guidelines, then that candidate is likely to run into trouble with the law enforcement agencies who will want to call him to order and make him comply with the guidelines and the laws of the land. That is all. You ask yourself, why is it that is only one particular candidate, not other candidates? Why? Ask yourself. Why should it be one particular candidate who is having those issues? That's what we need to ask ourselves. And we have told him and said, please, avoid moving with processions along the road. If you want numbers, we have seen some candidates who drive to a venue and they find their supporters in huge numbers waiting for them there. So what is so unique about you that you'd want to go drumming or encouraging and inciting or urging your supporters to join you on the procession along the road. Because mind you, Daniel, the roads that the candidates are traveling on are not for their exclusive use. They are also roads used by other Ugandans or non-Ugandans who are in this country legitimately, legally, and they are going about their lawful activities. So we must respect the rights of other people to use these routes or these roads. Some of the candidates reach somewhere on a trading center, they park on the middle of the road or slightly on the side of the road. Their supporters fill the road. He starts addressing a rally. And then that is wrong. So therefore, law enforcement must come in and ensure that the law is adhered to, the guidelines are adhered to, go to the designated campaign venue and find your supporters there, address them, then get in your vehicle or vehicles and drive away. Don't move with a procession over hundreds of borders. Some people are on foot, they have covered the entire road. Now, what happens for oncoming traffic or other road users who want to travel on that same road? Please, that's where the problem is.
Justice, have you witnessed the other presidential candidates? How many presidential candidates have been moving with processions so far at your watch?
Well, the one who says, who is always calling out to my name, BYABAKAMA, BYABAKAMA. Who say, you are keeping quiet. You see, but we have said, what is the cause? You see, you must look at causation of everything. What is the cause of the treatment of this candidate in that manner? What if he were to change course and say, okay, let me drive to my campaign venue, direct with my maybe convoy and so on, and get to the venue. And let's see how security will react. Then you have also noticed that what security now is doing, they are detaching these crowds who are moving with him from the candidate. They let the candidate to pass through, maybe with his official vehicle, the vehicles he's using. You already saw a security vehicle moving with him, and I think he has his media vehicle and so on. They let them pass through. But this horde of people who are on motorcycles, who are moving on foot or all over the road in a disorderly manner and so on, the security is trying to contain those. So I don't think security is doing it purposely to derail this individual from getting to the venue. Then at times, because we have been engaging with security, but these things, this candidate is complaining about, so, but look, given the way this candidate is moving with a huge procession, and he wants to pass through the city center or the town center to go to the designated campaign venue. So because he's not compliant, we have to devise other routes where the person can pass without disrupting the business area where he would move with this crowd. But if the candidate opted to move to the designated campaign venue, after all, your agent, if you have agents in that area, that district, for example, they will have mobilized or sent out messages to your supporters. Please, our candidate is coming to our town or our area on such and such a day at such and such a time. Now, in order for us to comply with the law and not run into conflict with the law enforcement officers, go ahead of the candidate and be there. Go ahead of the candidate at the nomination venue, at the campaign venue. He will come and address you from there. But you want to reach every trading center, you stop to address people. You reach every market, you stop to address people. No, you are causing a disruption. You are causing a disruption. And law enforcement is not going to allow that.
Okay, like I said, Justice Simon BYABAKAMA is here to clear the air. Justice, what is the role of the Electoral Commission, especially when the situation turns shabby, like we've seen on different occasions when the situation turns brutal?
No. One, the role of the Electoral Commission, remember, the Electoral Commission is the manager, the organizer of these processes. And the time comes when we say the Commission has been putting this in place, this in place, this in place. We have concluded this, we have concluded this. Now, the time has come for you, other players, to come in and play your role as prescribed under the law. So our first expectation is that every player who has a role to play in a particular activity of the general elections roadmap will act in accordance with the law. However, where we see some people not acting in accordance with the law, it is our duty to call them out. And as I said, we have been holding meetings with the agents of presidential candidates, the Uganda Police Force, and ourselves, and we bring out all these issues that have emerged during the campaign trail so far, and we find ways of addressing them. So the role of the Commission is to ensure that we keep people in order by telling them, look, you are going astray, you are going off track when you do things the way you do them. Even law enforcement, we are telling them, fine, much as you have the mandate, but can you please exercise that mandate within the law? Because you may be a law enforcer, but you may use means which amount to law breaking. Okay? So we want every actor, every player to be balanced in the way they conduct, in the way they behave, in the way they go about doing whatever they're supposed to do. We want the presidential candidates or the candidates to be compliant with the law and the guidelines. We want law enforcement to use the means necessary to contain a particular situation, not go overboard because you have the whatever power, whatever instruments or tools that you have at your disposal and use them anyhow. So we want, because you see, at the end of it all, Daniel, democracy is not about how much violence is involved in our electoral processes. That's not it. Democracy is not about how much bloodshed has been shed, how much blood has been shed during campaigns or throughout the electoral process. Not at all. The sole determinant of which candidate is most popular, which candidate has the biggest support, which candidate the voters believe in as having the right program for their lives and their country, is at a polling station when the voters turn up and cast their vote at the polling station. That's what it determines. You may pull huge crowds and so on and so forth. The question is, are those going to be translated into voters or ballots or votes? That's the whole thing. So please, we continue to ensure that the country is not put in a situation of uncertainty, of fear, of chaos, of violence, simply because some people want to exercise their right to vote or to campaign and so on and so forth. Because mind you, this country will remain. These elections will end on 15th for presidential and parliamentary, then later on local government. By 6th February, we shall be done with elections. Are you going to tell me that after 6th February, this beautiful country called Uganda will be no more? Not at all. But what it will be after 6th February, it will largely be determined by we, the Ugandans who are involved in these processes, how we conduct ourselves today, how we conduct ourselves tomorrow, up to the day of polling and beyond. And I want to appeal to the candidates, to their supporters, law enforcement, and everybody, every Ugandan who feels that you belong to this country, you cherish this country, please let us draw back from any excesses. Let us act in line with the law. Let us know that you can only win at the polling station, not on the road, not by having huge procession, not by addressing huge rally. It is only at the ballot box that your victory will be determined.
Okay, you've talked about meeting the agents of the presidential candidates, and then you discuss on various way forward. But are there specific cases of violence that you are currently investigating as the Electoral Commission? Apparently?
Well, first of all, the Electoral Commission does not have the investigative capacity. We rely and depend on Uganda Police Force. And indeed, the Uganda Police Force has recently written to us pointing out a litany of violations and infringements by some candidates, and we are taking up the matter with them. Now, let me caution the candidates. You may be tempted to be carried away by the fact of your candidature and do all sorts of things and talk all manner of things, some of which are probably outrightly have a criminal element or aspect. Now, crime is crime. If you conduct yourself in a manner that amounts to a cognizable criminal offense in law, then you'll be dealt with. Even when you cease to be a candidate, you'll be dealt with. Because crime is crime. So I have been cautioning the candidates that please do not get carried away by the fact of you're a candidate, by the fact that you have huge support of Ugandans or people who believe